You do not have the brain matter to even be able to process information. All you do is murder me because you're grossly insane. I don't rise up. I don't give you a zinger back at you. I don't knock you down like a dominant male gorilla. All you do is murder me. So I'm just waiting for that process to complete so that I can get out of here. And whatever happens to you things, I don't care, and that's not my problem. You don't care about knowledge, you don't care about love, you don't care about music, you don't care about human advancement, you don't care about family. You're just an urge with flesh around it. It's nothing but a disgusting animal. You won't stop stealing people's belongings, from ranjacking our houses, repeatedly forcing us out of the shelter when we have clothing, trying to force us out of storage when we have an ability to store camping equipment and sleeping bags to sleep in, and change our clothes. You don't want us to bathe, you don't want us to brush our teeth, you don't want us to have clothing, because that is what apes do. Only apes that know they're nothing but disgusting animals try to force that stuff upon human beings. That's why you're doing it. Because you know that you're nothing but disgusting animals. And so you're projecting that onto a human being. You want nothing better than I'm in the same clothes with body lice and rotting teeth, pissing myself. That's what you want. So I don't believe it will come to that. I believe I'm going to pass on. There can't really be any other explanation for the past, I don't know, 6 to 12 months of your behavior. From the electric bill, the apartment takeaway, this business with the storage, non-stop. And it explains my brain biologically what's happening as I'm about to pass on. Eventually, the heart gives out. You have a massive stroke from the amount of stress that you're affixing on you purposely, because you're animals. I watched Barbara Kent do it to her own son, and then he died on the bathroom floor because of it. Not, it was about time he blew up and then took care of her, became the dominant. So I know that's what you're doing. And then the remaining brain matter may be telling you that you just hate me, or there's an excuse, or I'm a criminal. And then that word homeless, like Jew, doesn't really have any meaning as your brain continues to die in your skulls. Um, just getting angry at everything I do, including taking a piss. Being able to bathe, being able to change my clothes, being able to urinate in a toilet stall, all of it. So just a big pile of monkeys that know that there's no excuse or reason for what they're doing and what they're being told. if you had like anybody with the brain that was actually running the military and stuff, your city would already be leveled. Not you watch for 15 years, people forced in those conditions, like I'm saying, because you enjoy it. It's part of sadistic insanity, sexual sadism, that passionate suffering sorrow, where you get to the point of just going like a literal monkey that doesn't have much brain, and that feels like an emotion to you as the brain is dying. Right, it shouldn't take 5 years to euthanize a population for crimes against humanity. That's not what happened in 1945. So it's like a big group fest, like you just displayed, and the woman's crying, and everybody's doing a vigil and stuff. It's gross insanity. Sitting around St. Jude's Hospital doing the same thing. Um, Unsurvivable children that should have never been born because the population should have been euthanized by now to prevent that. So there's literally nothing more I could do for you things. I won't be seeing you ever again. You're going on to other things, and you won't be bothering me anymore. I'll be out of your grasp in a rebirth somewhere else for the rest of your extinction. I want us to be here for the rest of it. From what I can tell, because you're dominating weak people, you'll never really get to a state of war to the very end. And then it will be a constant state of war as you're all dying off. The boat can't be canceled. I explained it at the campground when every other thing was, this boat is not being stopped. I am getting out of here. I'm passing on. Praise God for that. So I suppose you'll continue on where some Jesus is coming and all of that. Um, I would suspect the thirst for having a group of Holocaust victims you call Jews will begin to spread to your Christians, um, who are also weak, just to prevent, for as long as possible, the all-out war that I explained. Um, and then it's just dying off. I don't know, electric bill could be just a massive stroke. That's what I would think, and then I'll be out of here. The lights go out and it's over for me. I don't have to suffer through this anymore. So I don't have to go to a church or out in the street and scream and scream and scream until enough vessels break in my brain that I don't have anything left there, as you people are doing to yourselves. I don't have to go through that sort of hell. I don't believe God's going to make me do that. just blowing out people's brain matter and psyche from torture that you think is enjoyable and you pretend it's not. I was wondering before if the remaining brain matter is you think that you're teaching people to be weak. Usually, you always think you're teaching something because God Almighty told you. You have a hatred for meek people, not you're teaching me to be meek. No one on planet Earth is more kind and loving and meek than I am. I'm the Virgin Mary. So your hatred is for people with those qualities, not you're teaching people to have those qualities. You're completely driving a population insane because of your morbid insanity. I understand what it is because you're primates and it's hell on earth that I'm not going to be in it much longer. I'm not going to be in it much longer. So I see that the cars are still driving around. You have no plan of what to do about the pollution. You have no way to cure your cancers. You have no one attending college that has any intelligence because this is what happens to anybody with intelligence. We all exodus the world in 2020, 2011. We all exodus the world system in 2011. So you've systematically driven us mad, driven some of them to drug use, which is a madness, driven some people to suicide, caused people to blow up on a bathroom floor, um, strokes, heart attacks. Only the most brutal sociopaths would be attending a college right now. Where the brain is completely shut off to any emotional caring for anyone. And everything is a stage show where you pretend that you care about it. It's part of sociopathy. I explained the hatred for emotions and smiling. Even my calmness, I know this from Barbara Kent, the mother of your species, that you become enraged because your brain matter is so reduced, that I'm not in a manic frenzy like you are, and I'm not in your mind thought system. And if I'm happy or calm, if I laugh, anything I do comes across as disgusting to you because you're mentally insane. Also, you know I want nothing to do with you, and I'm the virgin mother, I'm the ideal mother, you know that I can't stand you, that I find you disgusting. only because you had your monkeys in a mass extinction in 2011 when I came to you with open arms about all of this knowledge, would you tear me down and then try to pretend that you're happy and you're me? That is what monkeys do. That's all that would have made you feel comfortable with me. That's why you won't stop trying to turn me into your species, and I can't be turned into your species. I just die. So you're not part of my kingdom. When it shall not, shall not. So um, whatever's going on in the brain matter, where you clearly no longer care about human attributes, you no longer care about God or Jesus Christ, um, losing so much brain matter that you're just literally animals that talk. Right? I can't give to you what you're trying to do because I'm not a monkey, I'm a human being. I've watched it, I explained it, I've seen it at the store where there has to be an interaction, and then I somehow belittle you or yell at you or beat you up, and then we can be friends. I have no interest in living with that as your new society. I'm just waiting for God to end my life so I can pass on out of here because clearly there's nothing else going on. There's literally nothing else going on. All of the excuses that you people make up every day of your lives about what this is and what's going on. Well, I'm being spared, whatever you call them, the great tribulation and stuff. I'm being spared that by finally I'm dying and passing on out of here. Whereas you folks are not being spared that. Well, if you've spent since 2011 completely fixated on me, I think we can get some kind of an idea of what's going to happen when I finally am allowed to pass on out of here. Right. You're either going to come up with another group of people that you're holocausting like this, or you're just going to fight each other, like literally to the death. That's all your daily lives are going to become. Sort of like you saw in 2020, but much more violent. Because they only know Jesus or God is coming. You just murdered the Virgin Mother. You spent 15 years doing all this and murdered me. So what else would your life reality be at that point? Not coming together as people are murdering me. I explained it. Whatever's going on in your brain matter. Every time you book a weekend at a campground, you charge me for something. You charge me more for storage. You try to say I'm gonna get arrested at the train. You're trying to put me in jail. You're closing the toilet. Those are all because you're trying to get me to have an interaction with you. That is what you're doing. Yes, and it's never going to happen because you're a monkey and I'm a human being. I don't behave like you do, and it has no meaning. It's just your brain is so reduced you believe that it does. You win every dominance interaction because I'm not a monkey. And then you just die. You bury your children and you die. That's all monkeys' interactions are, where I go, and then we hug somehow, and then you're part of my kingdom. You're never going to be.